What's up, guys? Welcome to the first ever episode 218 of the Kind of Funny Gamescast. As always, I'm Tim Gettys, joined by one of the coolest dudes in video games, Greg Miller.
Doki doki.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Flying all around, doing a whole bunch of things.
Up at 4:30 this morning in LA, Los Angeles, in the cab out here. Here I am.
Wow.
Cab?
Let's go. Well, it was an Uber, but you know, I just generalize. You know.
And then joining me once again, the freshest face in the business right now, Fran Mirabelle.
I shaved today.
You're looking good.
Beard yesterday.
That's why you're the freshest face?
Yeah, I guess so.
I love it.
I'm
liking it a lot. You can find him on twitch.tv/FM3_. Which
working on those.
Are you the third? Are you a third?
I am the third. Yeah, Francis Mirabella the third.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
I love him so much. And joining us on this show for the very first time, Anthony Rapp. You might know him from Star Trek Discovery, Rent, Adventures in Babysitting, and Road Trip.
Twister.
Those are some of them.
All of them, man.
No, he doesn't want to talk about it. I love Twister.
So
I
Anthony,
know. Yeah, you the last episode.
The live people, yeah, they got to see the end of Anthony's episode as we were recording. We Have Cool Friends. It'll be out after Game of Thrones is done. But yeah, we get into the Twister thing. He's like,
what is this Game of Thrones?
Well, it's his other show. It's successful. I know you don't watch TV. You know what I mean? But it's also something. It'll be a musical one day, and you'll care.
Yeah, Twister the music.
I'm Jon Snow, and I know nothing.
Jon Snow. Jon Snow.
Jon Snow.
Sorry, yes. You were saying? What?
That's it.
Yes.
We were given the preamble. Of course, you know Anthony from Kind of Funny Games Daily, co-host there. Big video game guy. Big video game guy.
Yeah, and We Have Cool Friends coming soon, which is very exciting stuff. Sorry, Fran. You can watch this show each and every week right here on youtube.com/kindoffunnygames. If you want to get the show early, you can go to patreon.com/kindoffunnygames and get the show ad-free as well. That's super cool. You can get it on podcast services. Just search for Kind of Funny Gamescast. You can watch it on Rooster Teeth. We give you a lot of options here.
Wherever you are, it's going to be there. That's what we like to say. You know what I mean?
That's
you want to take a shower? It'll be there.
Yeah. Yeah, just search for Kind of Funny Gamescast in your local shower.
Yeah, in your shower. We're in your shower with you.
I had a dream, and I'm not going to go into too many details here.
Here we go.
But this is a dream I had today. I went home and napped, so I cheated a bit. Up at 4:30, but I took a nap before I came in to do some stuff. And one of the dreams I had, because it was just a 2-hour nap, but I kept getting jostled out.
It can be vivid dreams when you nap.
It was very vivid. And I won't tell you the preamble of how we got here, but basically me and my family were running upstairs from some lines that were opening a sliding glass door downstairs. And when I walked past the guest room, there was this ghost in there that I knew, and I was like, I don't have time for you right now, because the ghost ran at me. I pushed out the window somehow, and then it came through the window.
Like a Casper, like white ghost?
It looked more like the Annabelle doll. That's what you're thinking, but it was a ghost. It was like from Annabelle, from the Conjuring universe. Come on.
Oh, okay.
All right. Yeah. Anyways, pushed out the window. It came through. I shut the door. Put a knife through the wall, and then opened the door. And I'm like, I really don't have time for this. There's lines, and it handed me. I shit you not,
this ghost.
a cease and desist or some kind of legal document. It handed me that was signed by Michael Bublé and Gia Harris, and I was like, they don't have legal. I gotta go, ghost.
Why those guys?
And Michael Bublé. Also, who qualifies as your family? You and your family are running.
This is my old house, so it was my mom and my dad, and I think there was another person.
Because I love the idea of you, Jen, and Porty
Allen.
just like running from these lions.
Exactly. Yeah.
Lions?
Yeah, lions, yeah. They were walking through the yard. Mom was like, oh, it happens. And then they started pawing at the door. And they were opening the sliding glass door.
It was lions. They're just chilling.
Mom, that does not happen in the suburbs
You
of
sound a
Chicago.
little stressed out in your dreams, if I'm being honest.
I know, right?
You handled them well.
You try to unpack it. It's this threat walking by, then opening the door and me trying to hold it closed.
Michael Bublé.
Summate that. You've got hungry lions outside that are coming to eat you.
Yeah.
There's a murderous ghost you live with, and someone, a famous musician and his fiancée are coming to offer you a cease and desist. That is not a good lineup.
Hey, man.
Oh, man.
Who are we to say?
Shout out to our Patreon producers, DJ Kento, James Davis, and James Hastings for allowing this to happen, I guess. I don't even know.
And the murderous
But let's
ghost.
talk about some video games. Greg.
Yeah.
Days Gone.
Yeah. It's all I've been playing, and that's all I can say. We are embargoed with our Days Gone review until 1 week from today as a recording. So the next Kind of Funny Gamescast, gloves are off. I can talk about Days Gone.
Yes,
but sadly, it's done that thing where it's all I played. You know what I mean? So I can't say anything. I went back to Katana Zero a bit because I want to beat it still.
We'll talk about that.
Yeah. So it's just, that's what I've been doing.
The one thing I've been playing besides Days Gone, Super Smash Brothers.
Oh, did you try Joker?
DLC Pack 1. Oh, did I try Joker?
My
I
apologies.
already got all the spirits,
Joker?
Greg.
Like Batman Joker?
Persona
No, Persona 5
Persona
Joker.
5.
Oh, sorry.
I didn't get to play Persona yet either. I have a lot on my list too. Don't worry.
I have a
if you
lot on
haven't
my
played
list. I have a lot
All
on
you do is sit at home and stream games. Like, how can you not have played
Because
it?
I'm playing Division, Greg.
That's my man.
That's it.
That's my
You knew
man.
it was
Good
coming.
excuse. Good excuse there.
God. But yeah, I
not
already
gonna fight me on
got,
that.
there was 11 new spirits added. I already got them all.
Okay, good.
Spirits?
So
Spirits? That's a thing in
Super
Smash
Smash
Bros?
Brothers.
How many
It's
were
the
there?
collectibles. Let me. here's
Tim
the-
has all of them.
Yes.
How many are there, Tim?
There's now 1,316.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, don't give me shit, Mr.
No, I'm not giving you
Mr.
shit. I'm-
Platinum Trophy.
No,
How many
not
Platinum
shit.
Trophies do you have?
Like so many. I have 69.
69, which is
Platinum
beautiful. Don't ever get another one. But yeah, no, I'm not a big trophy guy, but I am a big Nintendo guy. I'm specifically a big Smash Brothers guy.
Yeah.
So they have a essentially trophy system,
sure,
and I'm
yeah.
like, I got a platinum.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Was it worth it? No.
It
What
wasn't worth
cost?
it?
Everything. Oh yeah, no, not worth it at all.
Why wasn't it
so
worth
much
it?
grinding, so much bullshit, so
Oh.
much. Yeah, but with the new DLC packs, they're just going to keep adding more bullshit for me to do.
Sure, of course.
But it's good to know that it doesn't take too long to do it all. And you know, jokes aside, it's like it actually is pretty cool stuff. They made some improvements to how the spirit board works with the DLC stuff, where before it'd be randomized and it was kind of a waste of time of just waiting for the ones you're
Was it
looking
a weekly
for.
reset or?
No, it's
Okay,
there's like
Fran, come on, it's Nintendo.
No, I know.
old
there's like a
RNG.
timer. There's a timer on it, like with minutes.
Oh, it was like all the time.
Yeah. There's a board, and at any moment, there's 10 different
Yeah.
spirits that would be there. You face them, and if you win, then there was a stupid mini game you had to play that was garbage. And if you lost
sounds
that,
A ringing endorsement of your
Yeah.
1300 or whatever.
you didn't get it, whatever. But that's the thing. The new DLC ones get a separate board and
Okay.
get rid of the garbage.
Okay.
So if you beat them, you get it.
Oh, okay.
And it's only the 13. You're not waiting for them to respawn and do all this bullshit. You just need to do the challenge.
Go and get
Each of the challenges is based off of whatever character the spirit's based off of. Now they're all Persona characters. I'm not really familiar with any
How
of these
did they
things,
get the
but
Persona characters?
they got Joker, baby, DLC.
No, but how did they like?
Atlas, they asked nicely.
Have they ever been on Nintendo?
Oh, that's a great question. Has Persona 5... Is Barrett here? Oh, interesting. Yeah,
That's
no,
interesting.
yeah.
I'm just
There's an ongoing argument because this has happened. What does it mean exactly? Is Persona 5 in some way or form going to come to Switch? Is it going to be the dancing games? Is it going to be a repackage? They put up a site that looked like it was going to be it, and then it wasn't. Now there's a different Persona 5S. There's still rumors and speculation, but yeah, it is basically that. Although, as Tim always points out, when we start getting crazy, that yes, people have shown up in Smash Brothers that have not been on Nintendo consoles.
Plenty of people.
Yeah,
They
exactly.
just do that now.
Cloud.
Like Pac-Man was it. I mean,
Well,
that's.
Batman's been on Nintendo before.
Oh, that's
and
it. I
Cloud,
was thinking
Cloud
people
was
that
the
have
very
never been.
PlayStation version of Cloud, right? Wasn't that the deal?
Yeah, I mean, even without that, Final Fantasy VII
That's
just came to
interesting. I did
Nintendo
not
for the first
see.
time.
I did not know.
Yeah,
That's a
so
joke, but they-
Joker, the first DLC character, second DLC character in Smash Ultimate with the Piranha Plant being the first. But this is the first of the like character DLC that they're pitching with the packs, where you can get the season pass or 5 different packs give you a character, like 11 different songs, I think, like music tracks from the Persona series, and songs from 3, 4, and 5.
Yeah.
And some of them are new arrangements and like
That's
typical
wild.
Smash Brothers stuff. All the spirits, of course, the new character, the stage Memento is
Yeah,
the name
Yeah,
of
we're
it.
going
stage is
to-
cool. It's like a Persona stage.
And what's
I have
cool
new victory
about it,
screens that are the victory screens from Persona 5. Yeah.
what's cool about it is when you play that stage, depending on what song is playing, if it's a Persona 3, 4, or 5, it's the stage changes to look more like those games, like
Yeah.
color-wise at
Yeah,
least.
yeah.
Yellow, red, and blue.
Yeah. I was gonna
Yeah.
say blue.
So that stuff's cool. But again, this is just a testament to how much Sakurai cares about Smash Brothers, about getting the little details right, where Joker's winning animation is different than the other Smash characters.
And I saw on maybe the Persona subreddit today or somewhere that if you hold a button combination, you actually get the Morgana vein
hold
coming
left,
out.
up, or down, like when you
If you win.
win, it changes the victory animation, which works for all characters. And I didn't know that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's been
Yeah.
in there
Oh,
since
wow.
Melee.
Yeah, that's crazy. I
Fake
didn't know
fan.
that.
Tim's a fake fan.
D-pad up.
This is the first thing I like. Fran knew and I didn't about Smash. It's insane.
It's actually it's funny that it is that subtle, and I never thought twice that people wouldn't know. But you're right; they don't really point that stuff out.
So that's really cool.
Did you play as Joker? Does he play cool? Is he a good
I
character?
played a classic mode with him. He's cool. I still don't really understand his gimmicky thing. With a lot of the newer characters in Smash, specifically the DLC characters they've been adding, like the third-party characters is what I meant to say, with like Cloud and stuff like that from the Wii U version. They each kind of have like gimmicky things as their character, so it's not just like Smash where everyone has the same things. They'll have like meters. Like Little Mac has the meter at the bottom for his, like the KO punch, or Cloud has his limit break thing from Final Fantasy. Joker has something.
Yeah.
You guys probably know what it is. Get in here, Joe.
Joey came in. I'm like, she heard Persona on the wind and needed to get in here to
That's
explain
exactly
it.
what I came in here
Is there
for.
mic up, Kev?
Yep.
Cool.
It has one of the personas. I think it's Arcana.
Yes.
Yeah.
That he powers up, and then he has like a whole different move set essentially when that's there.
It's
right?
not so much a whole different moveset. It's more just like very powered up
powered,
versions of his moves. But yeah, I still haven't wrapped my head around like the gimmick of it yet.
Yeah,
Because
like how to charge that meter or like what goes into that. I played around with it a little bit last night.
he has down B's a counter, and it does charge the meter faster than your little Arceus or whatever the hell his name is.
Arcana.
Arcana pops out behind you and like powers everything up. But some of his moves seem weird. Like his up B is a grapple, and he like throws a tether out, and it seems really hard to hit people with.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
Yeah, you can pull them down towards you. Usually those grapples is like I think Toon Link or whatever was one of the first.
Zero Suit Samus had this, and
But you can
It's
latch
way
onto
harder
edges,
than
which
hers,
is cool.
though.
Toon Link got you?
no.
Just how detailed this conversation is about this fighting.
Hey man, shit matters. But to jump to the thing, I feel like they did a great job with this shit. But they also added stage creation for the first time.
Yes, I heard about this.
In Ultimate, not in it was in the other ones, but this is the first time it's in Ultimate, and it seems pretty cool. You can actually like draw on the Switch to like. It's very
Yeah, you
robust
can- that's
compared
right.
to
It's
the
got a
last couple ones.
touchpad.
And I want to show you something really damn cool that a best
No,
friend
it's
did.
going to be penis stages.
And it's not.
I
penis.
saw
what
those going
everybody's doing.
around. I
Yes.
saw the 9/11 stage. I was like,
Jesus
oh,
Christ, that is not.
I think it was Cecilia from Kotaku put
Hopefully
out
it
like, this
was
is like
in
why we
honor
can't
of-
have nice things.
This comes from Scoom Poof.
Scoon Poof. Okay.
I can't
well,
leave
this is
people
gonna
with
be.
creator
Scoom
tools.
Poof. Oh, wait,
God only knows
I
what's
need to do
happening in
this.
dreams right now.
Oh yeah.
It's like a beta thing going on. with
No,
Dreams,
early
or-
access for dreams is up now.
Did you see actually that like somebody was recreating Journey, for example, and like so that's starting to happen.
Sure.
Somebody
Yeah.
made
Oh,
part
wow.
of Journey. Yeah, it's pretty
Wow.
cool. Even just the thought of it, whether or not it plays.
There he is.
Y'all ain't ready for this.
A new challenger approaches.
Look at that pretty.
Did you don't pick your opponent, right? They pick it like
It's up to you
If
it's
you're just playing
or
random
whatever.
verse.
Yeah.
what just
So I'm
happened
doing it
there?
right now.
He just got smushed.
Oh, Joey sent this out earlier,
Yeah.
right? This is the Kind of Funny
This
Games
is-
daily
they made
level.
Kind of Funny Games daily a stage. So
that's me shuffling my
Greg.
papers
I
at the
see.
desk.
Papers down. That's me with the
With
blue
a hat?
eyes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then,
You're drunk.
yeah. And then looking at the.
Oh, they put the
desk.
TV in there
Yeah,
too.
yeah, yeah.
Wow.
It's the
It's
desk.
kind of hard to see.
This is
That's
genius.
this angle,
Oh,
but
and Greg's, those are his papers.
Yeah.
Because Greg will hold the papers and be in the show. That's fantastic.
Very
well
good.
done.
Who did
made
this?
this Scoom Poof.
Good job, Scoon Poof.
Good old Scoom Poof
Scoon,
did
Scoon
this.
or Scoom?
Yeah, I'm trying to
Scoom
zoom
or
out now.
Scoon?
SCOOMPOOF on the Kind of Funny Reddit did it. If you want to get this stage yourself, you can just go into the stage creation thing on the internet.
That's awesome.
And search for
It's
Kind
really
of Funny.
funny.
And
It's really
it'll
good.
come up.
It's really
But,
clever.
Yeah, cool
What,
stuff.
why is it in a church?
So it's a Pokemon Coliseum that they're in.
Okay, sorry.
So
They just
is
had
that
to
how
pick
it
a
works? You have to pick a background that exists already, but then you can make whatever you want.
Yes,
Got it.
exactly. And
Okay.
people have been doing some really cool stuff, and like as you can see, like you can add motion and stuff, like with
papers.
your papers and
Yeah.
stuff. And my
There's like lava on the bottom of it too.
Yes.
That's cool.
my head's
Death,
moving a little
paper,
bit there. You can
lava
kinda see.
situation.
I'm just like feeling it.
Can you jump
know?
on your hat? Probably not.
I don't think so.
That CPU
but you can
is
decide
just
if you want
not-
to do that or not.
I'm sorry, the CPU is like just randomly
it's a level 3. Yeah.
trying to
what
do,
What are you gonna do?
like
here?
I don't understand though. Seriously, like he's like
Well, you
he's
can dial
making
in the
big,
difficulty.
He's making big moves and you're nowhere near him. Like
Yeah.
why would
They're
you do
actually
that?
really good when you set them higher. They won't leave you alone and they will beat the crap out of you. So I don't know why the Kirby's acting so stupid right now.
Well, I think it's just demo mode for Tim. You just put
Yeah,
it.
Yeah.
You just,
I was
That's
just
it.
showing you the level.
yeah,
the
exactly.
better.
Now he's showing us how Joker
All right,
moves.
That's really
That's
neat.
That's really cool.
Cool.
Somebody make the Kind of Funny Dreams level now too. I
Yeah.
volunteer all of us to do the VO.
Okay, I'm in.
There you go.
I like that.
I volunteered you too. I guess you're in it too.
I've never been in the creation thing.
Well, no. All you have to do is you just send me your voice files, talking to your phone.
Oh.
I'll give them to the creators. They'll
Got
put
it.
them in the game.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Yes. Sorry. Yes.
All right,
Yeah.
send all the lines of dialogue to Kevin, and he'll tell us what to
100%.
do.
Anyway, I think they're doing a really great job with this. I love that they are adding more
Do
stuff.
we know when the next thing's coming? Have they
No,
any
but
news?
they've already said that like they've been working on it, and like we know that all 5 packs are going to be out by next February. So
Oh, okay.
like doing
So
the math
probably,
on that, I
yeah,
imagine we're going to get some
quarterly
announcements
kind
pretty
of thing,
soon.
yeah.
But it's cool. I'm actually really happy with the 3.0 update they did, because like adding stage creation and stuff, that kind of shows that they might add more modes in the future,
Yeah.
and hopefully like keep reducing the gimmicky bullshit from the spirit stuff and just enhancing that and making it better, because I just want to keep going back in.
Yeah.
You know me.
And it's free, right?
There'll be 2,000 spirits by the end of this, and I'll get
Have
them
them
all.
all.
Gotta
I'm
catch
proud
them
of
all.
you.
Thank
I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
You know, because you always want to thumb your nose at me and my platinums. I'm glad. Yeah,
And
look
here
at
he
you.
is.
Look at
I
you
need my own
obsessed
nerd
with it.
shit, you know?
Exactly.
Joey. We need to talk about Portia. Portia?
She's gone, dude.
Portia.
She's coming.
Come
There
back
she
around
is.
the horn, Joey. No?
There you are.
She's back.
Yeah, it's time for you to talk about your time with Portia.
That's really why I like the game. My time with Porty. No, it's my time at Portia.
Portia, okay.
It was a Steam game, and they brought it to all the consoles. It's very Stardew, Animal Crossing-y.
This sprung to my radar because I've seen a million press releases for it, but mainly Britt from What's Good had been tweeting about like, hey, I'm obsessed with this, and I'm playing it while I do the gym
I haven't
stuff.
seen her talking about it.
What do you think of it? Because you're Miss Stardew Valley.
Yes. I like it. It's definitely way more complicated than Stardew Valley.
Yeah.
Especially with crafting in this one, because you have to like craft pieces to make machines to then make parts to make other things. I'm like, this is a lot of steps that
Sounds very
are
much
a little
like the
bit-
real world.
Yeah, right? But like, it's not as fun when you do it in a video game. But it's really fun. They have like a lot of different mechanics, and you pick up tasks, and it's all the same like relationship stuff. I've still only probably put like 7 hours into it. I haven't played
Only
that much
7
between. I mean, I got it.
I heard load
maybe
times are bad,
yesterday.
right?
My
Yeah,
time, Portia.
I checked it last night because I was like, this seems obscene. And from starting the game on my Switch to like actually getting into the game where I can play it
think I
took
would wanna
4.5 minutes.
4.5 minutes.
Which is doesn't sound long, but when you're sitting
No,
there,
that's a long
it's
time.
a really long time. I was like,
No.
holy cow. So it's one of the things where like they already fixed it. They fixed the in-game loading with a patch, and they're working on the like actually jumping into
Gotcha.
a part now. So it should get a little bit better. But the art style is really cute, and they have like all these really cute animals. The animals in there almost look like Viva Pinata. Which is kind of fun because that's something else
This
I would
is all
like to play.
very on brand
I know,
for
right?
Joey. Was
Exactly.
Pokemon Snap a playable game in it as
No,
well?
I know. I wish. No.
Combined
no Pokemon.
Trifecta. Animal Crossing in there too.
Right. But yeah, it's really fun. It's like mining.
So you're gonna stick with it?
Yeah, I'm gonna
Okay.
keep playing it. I mean, I was up really late last night playing. So
Gotcha. Okay.
as much as
hooks
like
in
I
it.
have issues with minor things, it still kind of has its hooks in me.
Okay.
Very highly rated on Steam.
Yeah.
Yeah,
9
people
out of
love
10 on
it.
Steam.
People who love it. People who dig
Well,
that.
thank
love
you
it.
very much for that, Joey.
Thanks, Joey.
Anthony,
Yeah.
what have you been playing?
I went back into Bloodborne.
Now you've
That's
platinum Bloodborne.
I know. But
Move on.
no.
Why'd you go back? New Game Plus stuff? Or?
No, builds, different builds. I read about like that you could do like a pure arcane build where you never leveled up anything but arcane and vitality and endurance. And it's been really fun.
Yeah.
So
Sounds like some Nuzlocke challenge shit.
no, it's really not. There was this myth that there was like the magic in the game wasn't really good, and it's actually great. But you have to really
have to
invest
build
in
it.
it. Yeah. So it makes the first part of the game a little harder. But yeah.
What about Bloodborne speaks to you on this level? Because like obviously, we came on Games Daily. You volunteered to squad up to like shepherd people through Bloodborne. But then it's that whenever I see you sign on to your PlayStation 4, that's all you're playing.
Yeah, being here kind of like rekindled the desire to like go back in and see what it was like to go back like fresh. I just think that it's like the Dark Souls games, Demon Souls, the Dark Souls 1 and 2. I haven't played 3 yet.
Okay.
And Bloodborne, but especially Bloodborne of all of them for me. It just has this perfect blend of atmosphere and tone and gameplay.
Okay.
And yeah, there's a grindy aspect of it, but no matter how many times you go through an area, even if you're high level, unless maybe the very beginning, you always have to work at it.
There's always a risk.
Yeah,
There's always a
you
chance.
always have to be careful.
Yeah.
And mindful and skilled.
Okay.
So I don't know. I just think it's amazing.
Are you into the other Souls games as well?
Yeah. Yeah.
Have you-
but
we-
not on the level of something about Bloodborne, the world and the mixture and the pace of it.
So what does Sekiro look like for you? Like is that something you're
I'm
interested
excited
in?
about it, but it's like it feels intimidating in terms of time. Like I want to, because you have to dedicate time.
How
to
many hours
getting-
did you put into Bloodborne though?
I mean, I have different characters, so I've put hundreds of hours total.
So
over
why are
the-
you starting a new character in a weird role? Go play Sekiro.
Yeah, why not put an
No,
hour into
No,
Sekiro?
because
It's
like Bloodborne, I can dip my toe in for like an hour, and
They-
just Sekiro, I would want to like spend. I
You
think
wanna
a
finish
few,
it,
few
right.
hours. Yeah,
That's we all go through that,
Sure.
and it's funny that Sekiro. I finally started playing it. I actually played Demon Souls, but then I never played anything after. And I like the games, but I'm just like I don't have time for this. Sunk my time into other games.
so you never played Bloodborne?
No, I've seen plenty of all this stuff. My brother's crazy about it. I see a ton of it, and I know that I would enjoy it. But my point I'm making is I was like I gotta play Sekiro. Once I finally did, I found myself like. I was like, yeah, why not just play it for 90 minutes? And I saw all these people saying what you say, you know, I don't have time right now. Corey Barlog, for example, creative director of God of War, you know, he's like, I can't do it right now. And I left thinking, I'm like, why not play a game for 90 minutes? Because you do, the other thing that I see, though, is you wait a year.
Yeah, I know. And that's what a pile of shame is when we talk about it.
But that's like it's like muscle because you gotta get into the rhythm with it, muscle memory, and especially if you're having to like go back over areas again and again.
Lately,
you know.
I feel like I've been doing
that is fair of those
with
games.
all the travel and what we've been doing in the different games, the different embargoes. There's a couple games that I've cheated. Like I haven't given them the It's like I'm gonna jump in and play 30 minutes, which means I'm not even remotely out of the tutorial, which means when I come back in 2 days, I'm like, wait, what was happening? What the fuck was I doing?
Yeah, and you're doing a disservice to the game because then all of a sudden it's like you're frustrated when you're the one that didn't play.
And
by
that's
the
the thing
rules.
is like I'm with you, Fran, I'm with you, Anthony, of like I need to focus if I'm gonna play something. And that's why even like with anything I'm playing right now, and it's like, man, I'd love to jump back to the Division. It's like, no, I'm on an embargo. I have a review embargo for Days Gone, right? I'm gonna focus on that and get back to the Division when it's done and I've wrapped it and everything's fine. Yeah, because I don't want to leave and come back and wait. What was that? What was this? I don't understand.
Yeah, it's fine. I'm a total hypocrite in asking that question because I won't usually play games until I want to, like what you're saying. I want to take my time and do it. No, I'm probably a good 15, 20 hours in or whatever.
Are you enjoying it?
Oh, it's awesome.
Yeah.
And I guess the thing that I'll say is I asked that question because I think once you get over the fear, you sink your teeth in and then you can't get enough. And the truth is,
that's the thing. Like I did. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, you end up
enough.
playing it sooner than you planned because you're like, yeah, I'm gonna make time. So in other words, like it kind of makes you get into it by just getting over that first hump. That's
so
awesome.
I'm proud of you for getting into it and giving this a shot. But like, do you feel like you're getting good at it? Are you understanding the rhythm?
I'm like, I got in from like scared of those early enemies and I haven't played since Demon Souls, and it's terrifying when you're not a Souls player. Even when you are, it's terrifying enough, and everybody's talking about how hard the game is. So you get in, you're just terrified. But long story short, as I've progressed, I've started to really, I feel like, master stuff. And so when I play on Twitch, I have a death counter up, and we enter in the chat +1 death. I'm up to about 250.
Yeah,
that's over 15 hours. I feel like I'm doing pretty
part
good.
of like this is no bullshit. I think that part of the amazing, beautiful things about these games is I think they're truly about letting go.
Yeah.
Of like all the things you think you're supposed to do is like not die, that you're not supposed to fail. They're games about failure.
Yeah.
And that failure is how you get better at something and learn. So it's like there's a humbling aspect of it that I think it's built into it that I think is important and meaningful.
So existential.
Yeah, really. It's like very Japanese to me.
It is. Yeah. That's what I was thinking.
From Software is very Japanese.
Yeah. So I think and yeah, there's this talk about how hard they are, and they are hard and challenging, but they're also like this thing hard but fair. I think it's really true.
Yeah.
Like there's other things you play sometimes that they're just like there's moments. I love The Last of Us. Really, I love it. There's moments in that are just so hard.
Sure.
Like some of those encounters, if you're playing on higher difficulty, they're just like how do you even?
Yeah, there's like a perfect run of going around to get all the clickers.
And in this case, it's just a little. You could manage any encounter if you really. Practice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And see, that's the thing with Sekiro, right? Where that dropped in the middle of my Division obsession, which is ongoing and is a lifestyle. It's not a phase mall. Where it dropped and I jumped in and I was like, awesome, I'm doing it. And then it was, like, I have to parry here. The game, parry is all about it. Whereas in Assassin's Creed Odyssey, right, it was like, cool, you can parry moves or you can dodge roll. And I was like, I played 110 hours of Assassin's Creed Odyssey and I never parried once. I just rolled around people, got to their backside and hit them, right? And so when this one started, I was like, ooh, this is going to be such a mindset change right now that I'm not prepared to commit the hours to doing it.
It's like 100% nailed it. It's so much about learning from your failures, and that's okay, right? But you don't want to fail as a gamer. That's the great irony of playing it. And then you get stuck on how much am I failing and how much am I learning? But then, watching people try to play this game is amazing. It is such a test of patience. No
that's the other thing. Yeah,
it is patience. Testing every second. Is trying to bait you in to get hit and get so mad about it. And it's this, you're constantly fighting yourself of like, what literally just do it. I should have just stood there and parried. Because that is, by the way, the easiest way to beat in most cases. You just stand there and you're ready. You're like, I'm not moving, and I mean, you learn moves.
Wait for them to do the thing.
I'm simplifying it, but like truthfully, if you're a lot more patient and you watch the timing, and it's funny, the animations. That's what makes these games so clever too. Like some enemies swing in a way that we're so used to blocking that, right? You're like, block. That's a fight block. Whereas in Sekiro in these games, enemies do this like interesting like timing on stuff that you can't know when the parry's coming until you've played them, and then you got to memorize what that animation is. It's really awesome, and it feels so good when you get it right.
Having not played these games, how much of
any of them?
No.
And because of the difficulty thing, that's the thing.
I just haven't played them. That's the thing. And also, like, I usually don't like having to invest too much time into games,
like, unless they're Super Smash Bros.
Unless they're spirits,
and Nintendo in general.
And Nintendo.
There's no spirits in Mario Kart, and you've put a lot of hours into that.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I enjoy those type of games.
Hey, no, we all have our very
that's the thing that I enjoy, but and you know, Cuphead comes to mind a lot. Have you played Cuphead?
No, it's not on PS4. I do have an Xbox that I hardly ever crack open, but
just came out on Switch today.
Yeah,
cool.
Highly recommend.
I heard it's great. Yeah,
it is. It's amazing, and I love that, and I've talked about it to death. But I'm going to say it again, buy this damn game on Switch, support it. I love it because it's super challenging. It is this kind of like you have to learn, and it always feels rewarding. But I love how quick and bite-sized it is, where when I die, I go right back. From what it seems like with Bloodborne and Dark Souls and Sekiro and all this, how much of it is a boss fight that you have to get through versus getting through a ton of enemies and traversing an area?
There's different areas, so that so much of what's really amazing about the design is the shortcuts that you open up. And then, if you do have to, you have to make it to those shortcuts to open them up, and then if you die, then you go back.
Fast travel, right?
Yeah, but it's not even fast travel. Like within an area, like
checkpoints,
like Yarnum, not even checkpoints. No, they're just you have one checkpoint.
You open like doors, right?
You open up doors.
I remember this in Bloodborne.
And gates and things, and then it's all like interconnected. You're wandering this way, and then you come across like a lever.
That's right.
And you do it.
Yeah, you open
But then
doors.
you can shortcut it later, so you can change your run up. But then it does become a run to the boss. Sometimes you can literally just run past people if you don't want to fight them.
Heroes more checkpoints.
Yeah.
I don't know if it changes the shortcuts later. You learn the levels, but it's a lot of traversal. But that is the thing maybe that you can't see when you just look at it. You kind of experience it, you get to your checkpoint, and then you can go anywhere, but you might want to just run by stuff sometimes because you've got your experience, you don't need them, and that becomes a skill on its own of how it is actually a ninja shinobi game. That's what you are, and so you can sneak, run, and try to take it on, and like so there's this risk versus reward of that. But yeah, you'd be surprised at how fast you can move when you want to.
Because I guess, you know, to really like drive my point home here, like I like Cuphead because it is you die, you're immediately back in, you're trying again, like Celeste, like those games. I don't like things like Mega Man. I've never been able to wrap my head around Mega Man because not only is getting through the level hard, the boss is hard. So it's like you get to the end and you die, and then the trial and error is just like a lot.
Good news for you is there's always, I mean, unless it changes later, there's always a checkpoint right before the boss.
Okay.
So that's the
generally, or close to.
Yeah, I mean, in Sekiro, you're always right there. You're literally always going right in to fight the boss, and they do it that way because they know you're going to die 100 times. So you don't have to worry about that. So it's just about. Yeah, your patience for getting to the next checkpoint.
But you know, this prepare to die thing too is like it became part of the marketing thing, and then there became a whole culture around it, like and the get good thing, and that's an aspect of the game, I guess. But that was intimidating to me too.
Yeah.
First time I dipped my toes in Demon Souls, I like got to the first boss. I was like, what? I can't. Yeah. And I stayed away from it for like a year. It was just
it was
crazy.
traumatizing. Yeah.
And then there was I don't know what it was. There's something that just opened up about it. About it was like a Zen thing. It really that's what it feels like.
Jason Schreier recently did a piece about it where he like forced himself to sit down and stick with Bloodborne, and then obviously like everybody else ended up loving it and thinks it's amazing. And I feel like I need to do that, but the problem I always have with it is just in the instances where I have that time to play a game, right? There's always so many things going, and I feel what you're talking about with Mega Man applies to me too. Growing up, where I'd play those kind of games, and if like that's still what video games were, and they didn't evolve, I would not play them, right? Because it was. I remember sitting there with my Sega Master System and playing those kind of games, and just being like.
You felt demoralized
I
ultimately?
I gotta do this all again. I made it that far, and I gotta do this, but I still have that trouble with this guy.
Sekiro doesn't have that.
Well, I know, yeah. But like in terms of my experience with a Bloodborne or a Souls game before, it was just the fact that even though it was modern and it was 3D and it was all these big environments, it still felt that way where it was cool. the presentation is obtuse. Like, I need to not only learn the gameplay mechanic of what they want me to do, I need to learn how this game talks to me. Because it talks to me in a very different way. And it just I never wanted to give it that much time to do. And I feel like I should force myself to do it, but I should also force myself to finish Persona 5. Yeah. And I should also, force myself to play 9 other things on my PlayStation 4 right now.
Did you guys never do a party mode like that where you're like, all right, these guys have never tried, and you're each going to go around the table?
Galvatron, right?
Does it go well or not so well?
We did one Let's Play back in the day of Bloodborne, but instead of playing the game, we just did create a character.
God, you can have fun doing that.
You were so close.
It was
purple
so
hair,
fun.
mustaches.
God, we created
weird glasses.
in Galvatron. But I don't know. We should just give it a shot. We should do a party mode where we just play.
But that wouldn't even be enough time. You know what I mean? I feel like we should do a stream, right? Where we do like one of these extra life things where it's like, cool, we're playing Bloodborne for 24 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, in a few hours. And you can approach it a different way if you're not as worried about where you're at. Someone could drop you into an early, because you can just go back and just enjoy a piece of a checkpoint where you don't have to go through thinking you're going to play from the beginning. But you could just try it.
So
it's like trying a level for Mario is what I'm saying. Like instead of starting at the beginning, just be like, no, try right here. Just see how you do.
Fran, you can't eat the center of a pizza, all right? You got to work here. You got to eat the entire piece.
If it gets you to try a game and give it a shot.
I've tried it, but I think that would be doing a disservice. I think you need to play from the beginning. And I'm saying I need to do that. I need to go back to Sekiro.
Yeah. I mean, you do because it's teaching you the basics, but if you had someone to just teach you the basics, like maybe. Depends on what you want.
I'll help
we got a guy.
I'm happy to help.
Yeah, you
so extra life this year. Come out and play Bloodborne
There's
for 24
the
hours.
language of these games, right? Where it's like you kind of have to learn the language. Is the language the same across the games?
It's Japanese.
Similar. There's
dialects.
There's like a lock-on thing that you can. Sometimes you want to be locked on, sometimes you don't. So that's a thing that's across the games.
Like flicking the stick between targets.
Yeah, that's one thing. And then there's dodging is similar-ish, but it's faster with Bloodborne. It's more like. So that
was always my doing when PlayStation 4 was running all the events, or when PlayStation was running all the events for Bloodborne running up to it, and I would play it. That's what I always took away from it, is that I always thought in Souls games I felt so heavy.
Yeah.
Like I was like a rock, where in Bloodborne it was the first time
nimble,
in my
more
cool
nimble,
gothic jacket, I'm able to roll around and do whatever.
It's also very much like, I don't forget that there's a technical term for it, input. Like it doesn't queue up inputs. You really have to be careful.
Lag, you mean?
Yeah, the little bit. It's responsive, but you can't just mash.
Yeah,
you have to do it in time, for some degree of precision. So that's a difference.
What I can say about the language of these games, and curious of your perspective, the biggest thing that stood out to me is having not played in forever was the items, man. I mean, there's so many weirdly named things dropping, and you're like, what? And then like you're afraid to use items because you're like, I only got one of these things. What am I supposed to do with it?
It's interesting.
I'm like terrified to use like a couple of these items because I think maybe they'll never come back. But
then
these games are like that sometimes.
But it's also though what you were saying about like how the game talks to you, like and it doesn't tell you, it's obtuse. That's part of the design, is that they also wanted a community to grow up around it and help each other. That's part of the and that's the thing of the mechanic of like there's phantoms in your world and you can join other strangers. It's all like
that's something I've also never understood from these games, having not played them. How does the multiplayer work?
It's different. So in Bloodborne, you can do it with total random people. There's bells that you ring, and if somebody else is ringing their bell, you can just meet up and help them. You can only do that when the boss, like if you haven't killed your boss yet, you can summon someone, and if they haven't killed their boss, you can go to their world. Okay. But once you've killed the boss, then you can't do any summoning in that area anymore.
An agent requires assistance.
So it's like that, and then, or if you and I were playing together, we could set a password, and then we'd have to be essentially in the same spot in the game in both of our games, and then you could summon me or I could summon you, and we would be together as friends.
How many people can play together? Just two?
Two.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sekiro I don't believe has any of that. But
right, it's just it's solo, I think. Right, yeah. And Dark Souls is similar mechanic, but not with the bells. It's a different, like soapstones they're called.
Anthony, you're losing them. We're scaring them.
I know. I'm telling you.
I know you're one of them now.
We had him for a second. I am. Yeah.
Do you recognize also how influential these games are in terms of like? And I don't mean just like there's copycats, but like you read about developers understanding like how. Like the world creation aspect of it, and the
100%. We're lucky enough to be dialed into the industry in such an interesting way that when I sit here and I'm like, I don't like a game, it didn't click for me. That isn't me saying it's a bad game. It's being a student of the industry. You can easily see. Like I remember I was in charge of the PlayStation team at IGN. Demon Souls came in, and we're like, what is this? Freelancer Sam Bishop, you do it.
Yeah.
And the review came back, and I think it was Colin Proofread. It was like, Sam's giving this game like a 9.5.
Nobody
and I was
saw
like,
it coming.
what? And like we read the thing, and it was like, I gotta try this game, and I took it home, and I was like, what is this game? Like, no, thank you.
I'm pretty sure I remember him submitting the script for the video review.
Which we did late because it started gaining so much traction. All of a sudden, everybody was into Demon's Souls. Like, what is going on?
That stuff would come across my desk, too. So I might be like, wait, I'm 9 something? And the doubt I had, I was like, really?
Yeah.
But, I mean, here it is today. That was spot on.
But you saw that happen. You saw that rise. And you saw Dark Souls. And you saw people really get back to... Again, I always talk about video games being a like silly putty that everybody grabs and runs, and like we've taken it so far from where it started, and to see people run with it in this direction that I do think is so similar to a Mega Man, so similar to what it used to be. Of it, here's this game that you do need to get good, you do need to learn, and get good always sounds like so shitty, but like to learn what it's trying to teach you, it's communicating you in a very different way.
Just like Cuphead.
Sure, but another game that I looked at and I was like, "Oh, so not for me." Like I don't want to be punished.
Yeah,
and because I like what it goes back to something we talked about on the show before recently when I was like, "Oh, I'm not an expert in that." Kids like, "What are you an expert at?" I'm like, I feel like I'm an expert at like third-person action, open world, that kind of thing. Like that's what I love to play. And all those games communicate in the same language. When I pick up a game and I'm like, "Cool, dodge roll," and it's not the same button, you're like, "Wait, why are you trying to reinvent the wheel?" Like this is where it goes.
That's what's crazy too, is that language evolves over time. Like it's not just about the controls, but in a lot of ways, when you are playing a third-person shooter or first-person shooter, left trigger is gonna get the scopes out, and you're gonna be able to aim better and shoot better. Whereas like even a generation ago, like you'd have to click in the right stick to be able to zoom and stuff, and it's like that feels so backwards, And I feel like there's still certain, or like driving cars in games. Before you used to hold A, now it's triggers, and if you play a racing game where you hold A, it feels like out of time, right? Like Mario Kart's the one exception,
and
but that's
thumb
a
would start to hurt. It starts to hurt.
Yes, exactly.
It's
but
sore.
it's cool that like these mechanics kind of evolve over time, and there is a standard that everyone uses, but then it's like there'll be tweaks here and there that, like, I wonder next gen what will be the things that we've lost here, because I feel like the clicking into sprint is something that we still haven't figured out yet.
Especially if you're like having to like run around a room and then you're trying to do the thing and then you keep clicking it accidentally because you're like frantically trying to get out of the way of something, and then you're suddenly doing things.
Some of it is just the amount of buttons and and the chance to implement new control styles. It's funny you bring that up because that's one of the discussions around Sekiro, is that it does have some kind of old school weird default controls, and frankly, I changed them immediately. I'm still thinking of something that I was like, why haven't I changed this yet? It's driving me nuts. But I forget what the default controls are, but it's how you use triggers for block and how you swipe and all this stuff and jump. And one of the weirdest things in the game, just to draw an illustration of it. So you switch items while you're playing in the middle of fighting to drink health. For example, so you're in the middle of and you're trying not to get hit, and it wants you to take your thumb off the move stick to heal yourself. You will then stop moving, and that's a default function.
Then you get hit in the back.
A lot of people have just moved that, which I've been thinking about it forever. I still haven't done it. You could move a quick heal to like the Y button or whatever it is. And the point is, it doesn't default in the way that is intuitive, which frankly is, if you don't take the time, it might be super frustrating for you if you try this game.
Well, that was like me with Devil May Cry 5. It's like the default controls.
You said the same thing.
It's just slightly backwards, but like, thank God they let you change it to whatever you want.
It's the exact same thing. I went through the same thing with DMC5. I was like, boink, boink, boink. What's happening? I was like, why did they do this? And I changed it. It was a lot better.
What's crazy is that even like first-person shooter games, like to see how they've evolved, like bumper jumper is now like standard, right? Whereas bumper jumper is where it's like in Halo, for example, A is jump, right?
Right.
If you're trying to be mobile and get away while shooting things and aiming, you need to take your finger off the aim stick to jump.
Yeah.
And so it's like, that is just not good. So if you put jump on one of the bumpers.
Like left a button. So the trigger's right there for aim or jump, and then you always are moving.
And it fundamentally changes the way you play the game.
Yeah.
And it's just like, that's crazy that like these little tiny changes like affect gameplay.
You can move and heal. You can move and jump. Exactly. So highly recommend if you get into these games. Take a second and don't just power through it, because it'll probably make your life miserable.
But that's an interesting question of what we will see from this generation or what's happening now games carry over. Because I do even think with, like, I'm talking about Odyssey, right? Like, the mechanics of dodge rolling and getting behind people to fight, I think is heavily inspired by everything that's happened with the Souls games, right?
Yeah.
Because that was the idea that I remember when they came around, is you had to roll around the enemies, get behind them, figure out what's going on. Whereas I think before, for a lot of third person, and I'm at this point struggling to remember. Ezio, if I remember correct, was like pairing so much more.
That was the best to me. I haven't played a lot of the more recent Assassin's Creed, but the Ezio, that combat system worked pretty well. And then I think there was a couple iterations that was like, what is happening?
Sure, well, they introduced guns and stuff with Connor.
It was also so like, it would just auto lock and you couldn't like it.
That was a little like Batman Arkham type controls.
No,
maybe,
that I could do.
You do like those, yeah?
That I could do because you can absolutely control who you're gonna hit, and if you get into a rhythm with that, one of my proudest platinums. Arkham,
Which Arkham?
City and Night. Yeah.
Okay, Arkham Asylum too.
I mean, I didn't platinum Asylum. That was early days. And
City's a tough one. Yeah, you got to do those challenge stuff.
I did all those challenges. All of them. Yeah. Because I was going to say, I love the third-person adventure games too. It's storytelling.
Sure.
Yeah. So I recognize fully that the Souls games are not like, it's a different thing. That it's satisfying. But like a story, characters, world. All that
that's
stuff.
always why I always talk. On top of being a trophy whore, I'm a story whore. Like that's what I want. I want to be told a great story when I go in. And so for Souls game, for Bloodborne, it is more of like.
But they have story too. That's the thing.
I gotta read them about Yarnum, the dank Yarnum nugs,
but it's like story told through atmosphere, story told through place, and
environmental storytelling is always really interesting. It's something like
weird,
Last of Us did.
Then you start to put the pennies start to drop as you keep going through. It's like, oh, that's what So
Got to get you guys to play it though.
That
would be funny.
Metroid
to watch.
Prime?
No. I hate you so much.
I want to play Metroid Prime again so bad.
You have played it. You have. You never played it?
My college experience was, a good part of it was sitting there eating a Tostino's party pizza that you'd make for Walmart for 99 cents while Hayes played it. So I've watched a ton of Metroid Prime, but I never played it.
Metroid Prime's so good. But it's funny because what we're talking about, geez, like in terms of controls, like that game does not play how you think it's going to.
No, but that back then they made a very conscious decision that it was still rooted in adventuring and platforming, and it's funny, I had a semantical discussion with our PC editors at the time because they wanted a first-person shooter because that's what it was to them. But to me, it was Metroid, where you jump around and platform. You kind of like Mega Man, you find new powers, and anyway, so it was a lock-on and like. Jumping around, you'd lock on to shoot, basically. You couldn't just, you could shoot, but you wouldn't hit anything. You could not.
Well, you would hold R to stop and aim, and then you hit A to shoot.
Yeah, you had two options. One, it was meant that you lock on, so quick changing between targets, a little like, Souls games and all that, and Sekiro. But you would change and just shoot, and it wasn't about precision damage. It was about your placement, but it was sort of we ran into the same thing with Resident Evil 4. Same thing with the PC editors. They were like, you just got to like stop and shoot people. What's going on? But it was terrifying to stop in that game, and that was part of the design. But anyway, I always call it a first-person adventure, and I fought to the death. Greg, you weren't there then.
No.
Could have used your help then. Battlefield 1942, a game I played more than almost anyone else in the office, won Game of the Year at IGN that year. And
that was when you guys used to get together and do like LAN parties,
right? 3 in the morning, at work, shouting over desks. That was incredible.
Metroid Prime didn't get Game of the fucking Year.
Not at IGN. GameSpot, you got it right. I almost went to GameSpot in 2004 after that. Oh, I was upset. It was a masterpiece. So.
Do you think that we'll see a Bloodborne 2 ever?
I don't know, because no one knew about Sekiro. Who knows? Like they feel like they really want to do their own thing. I don't know.
They're probably a Bloodborne 2?
Only if it's good. Really, only if it's good. Like I don't know, because it's pretty complete to me. I would love to see more examples of the gameplay and the world. But if it have to be something, I don't want it to just be a repeat. Because the other thing about Bloodborne, and this is like not to spoil, you think it's a werewolf game. And it's so much more than that. It goes so far beyond that into weird realms of craziness.
I thought it was Orders 1986.
You think of like where you think, right? You've seen the Beast People, right?
Yeah, I've seen
that's an aspect of it, but that is like
I always thought it was some weird gothic. It's all
it's that like hell to me.
But it goes into a whole other weird thing that is certainly interesting.
Awesome.
But not what it keeps subverting itself too. That's the thing. So
I want to call now that it is an exclusive PlayStation 5 title.
Bloodborne
Possibly
Bloodborne 2?
But yeah, I'm just making it up. But
I wonder. I really wonder.
That checks out.
Yeah.
I would
because it is their exclusive.
Yeah.
And they've been very mum on it, and I think that's that's going to be one of their big ones they come out with because that's what they're building towards. It's about the games.
Yeah, it was a system
Tell
seller
you what,
for sure.
They've got
surprise system seller.
They'd sell one PlayStation 5 to Anthony here.
Sure. I also went back and I think I told you in the room. I can't remember who I was talking to. Forgive me. I've never played the first Resident Evil. And I've had it on my hard drive or my machine for a while, and I was like, I feel like I should finally do it.
So this
and
is
it's been a
remake?
pain in the ass.
Remake.
It's a pain in the ass.
It's such a pain in the ass.
Just play Resident Evil 2.
Just jump to 2. That's what I was
the
gonna
newest
play.
version. Play Resident Evil 2.
Just don't even bother
Don't
with
play
this.
the old stuff because
The game, it's a different game. The gameplay is different. The story has really little to do with one, and anything you need to know is recapped.
But why do people love it so much? Why is it so popular?
Because it was a time and
Nostalgia?
place thing. Yeah,
Like,
and
so-
it's more. It's not even the nostalgia because I don't think people are just loving the game now currently.
But it did really well when it got this remaster thing. It was a big hit. It was like
but
a
that
huge
was
thing.
in like 2002.
No, I mean that like the one, and then it got
original
released for the
It just
new
got
generation.
released though, but it was like it wasn't a remade game. This is an old game from the 90s, remade in the early 2000s, that
Right.
is then ported in HD. It's
Right.
like that's the only thing. Whereas Remake 2 is from the ground up made to be a modern game.
it's a
I didn't
brand
know that.
new game
Oh,
based
I didn't
on
know
the
that.
original.
I did not
but
know
it's
that.
all
Okay.
everything's new engine and everything. So it's
Oh,
kind
okay.
of it really is playing a new game. It's just it's familiar to the
Okay,
original.
I got it.
Designed
Okay.
around
It's
it.
fantastic, and it's
Oh.
so much better than
And
Resident
you
Evil 1.
play it because it is relatively slow and terrifying and creepy, and it
The first one, you mean? You're talking about?
just Resident Evil period.
Yeah.
You know, did you play any Resident Evils?
No, that's the thing. I feel like I had to. Like,
Yeah,
I,
but you just jump
And
into
that's why I'm
Resident
saying it's okay to start with 2 because like stories, because the stories are always cheesy, and that's part of the
Yeah.
the fun of it. I think they improved it a little bit with 2, but it's just the atmosphere, man. It's
Yeah.
so creepy, and a lot of games are more rooted in action. This is not afraid to let you walk around this very creepy mansion, and
Yeah.
then stuff gets intense.
Yeah.
But the thing about like in this first one, you have to. If you didn't have a guide, how would you ever know what to do?
And 2
Where
is
to
not
go?
that. 2 is
Like,
very much when there's
Do you know what I'm talking about?
100%.
You're right.
We've talked about this in the show a million times. My favorite horror movie, I love horror. My favorite horror movie is zombie movies. I love video games.
Yeah.
When Resident Evil dropped, I was like, oh my God. Yeah. And I'm talking PlayStation 1 days. And putting those in there, I just never could. I hated the controls. They were tank controls. I hated not knowing what the fuck I was doing when I looked at the map. And so throughout the years, like Resident Evil 4, obviously I played and beat, and I liked it, but I didn't love it. It didn't click with me for the way it did for so many
It's
people.
more of an action game. Yeah.
And so when Resident Evil 2 came around, and I played Code Veronica, I digress. But when Resident Evil 2 got remade here, and we played it, when we were watching pre-coverage of it, when Tim went and played it for previews, I was like, this sounds like it's going to be my jam. And playing
Yeah.
it totally was, because it did. Hey, here's this classic game that we're remaking from the ground up, and we're putting in a map that makes sense. And you you know what doors do what, and you know based on this what you need to find. And when you find something, you're like, oh, I know I need to go put it there because I've either seen something and it remembered it for me, versus getting fucking tokens and weird shit in the other games. Like, I don't know what the hell do any of the crap.
Yeah. And, Resident Evil 1 is a classic, and so many elements of it are very cool. But from a gaming perspective, I don't think it's great at all. I think it holds up, and I think that they made a very good decision with 2 to be like, we're going to take the spirit of what that game was, but make it modern and actually just make it a good game.
Yeah.
And they really succeeded. It's my game of the year so far.
Cool.
And there's been some really killer games this year.
Yeah, put
that
the
was nice.
Division
That's
in your
cool.
drive. You know what I'm talking about?
Devil May Cry 5.
Yeah. And you could probably, spend 12, 15 hours with it. And
Oh, yeah. Totally.
Oh,
And
Resident
that's
Evil
the
2?
thing.
Oh, Resident
That's
Evil
the
2
thing,
is way
it's
quicker.
quick.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
can get the whole thing done in 10 hours.
I was
if
just
you're
saying,
really
really.
pushing,
Okay.
10
All
cinematic
right, cool.
hours.
Have you? Did you ever play? Or no, you should play Resident Evil 7 too.
Yeah, I've heard that's really good.
Resident
Yeah.
Evil 7. Do you VR? Do you PlayStation VR?
I don't have VR now. I love Dead Space and Dead Space 2.
Hell yeah,
I
you
love
do.
them. I
Hell
love
yeah, you
them.
do.
Love them.
Yeah,
So
so
I like
good.
scary. I like scary, creepy. Like that's not the part that.
Oh sure,
The
yeah,
first
yeah,
one
yeah.
is like-
Yeah, Resident Evil 7 was really great and it was really scary in VR
Yeah.
because like you can see everything here. It's right. in
Oh,
your
and
face
Alien
and
Isolation too. It was
Ah,
great.
yeah.
It was great.
Let me tell you about our sponsors. Shout out to Hims for sponsoring this episode. 66% of men lose their hair by age 35. Thing is, when you start to notice hair loss, it's too late. It's easier to keep the hair you have than to replace the hair you've lost. Just ask Andy Cortez, ask Nick Scarpino. They've been using this stuff for years, like we've been always talking about. Do you want your hairline to recede, or do you want to do something about it first? Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to do something about it first. That's why forhims.com sounds like the one-stop shop for me. It's the one-stop shop for hair loss, skincare, sexual wellness for men. Thanks to science, baldness can be optional. Hims connects you with real doctors and medical-grade solutions to treat hair loss, well-known generic equivalents to name-brand prescriptions to help you keep your hair. That's why it was really easy for Nick to make the switch over to For Hims. All you got to do is answer a few quick questions, and your doctor will review and prescribe you what you need. There's no waiting room, no awkward situation you got to be in. Listeners right now get a trial month of Hims for just $5 today, right now, while supplies last. You see website for full details and safety information. This would cost hundreds if you went to the doctor or a pharmacy. Go to forhims.com/RT. That's FORHIMS.com/RT. forhims.com/RT. This episode is brought to you by Robinhood. Robinhood is an investing app that lets you buy and sell stocks, options, and cryptos, all commission-free. While other brokerages charge up to $10 for every trade, Robinhood doesn't charge any commission fees, so you can trade stocks and keep all of your profits. Plus, there is no account minimum deposit needed to get started, so you can start investing at any level. The simple, intuitive design of Robinhood makes investing easy for newcomers and experts alike. View easy-to-understand charts and market data and place a trade in just 4 taps on your smartphone. You can also view stock collections, such as 100 most popular. With Robinhood, you can learn how to invest in the market as you build your portfolio. Discover new stocks, track your favorite companies, and get custom notifications for price movements so you never miss the right moment to invest. Robinhood's giving listeners of the Kind of Funny Gamescast a free stock like Apple, Ford, or Sprint to help you build your portfolio. Sign up at greggy.robinhood.com. That's GREGGY.robinhood.com. Back to the show.
And we insert them later. You don't have to do it. See, it's just
Katana Zero. We talked about it a little bit last week.
What is it?
Switch game, side scroller, really cool neon color palette. You are a ninja with your blade, and if people shoot at you, you can knock the bullets back. If you time it right, you can slow down time. When you die, you rewind time like a VHS tape, and then do it again, like because you're like you're envisioning how you're gonna go through the level. And do it.
So you were talking about last week, and
Barrett was in love with it.
Yeah, you were kind of like.
It wasn't last week. It was so the story went that when I played on the plane, I played too much in one sitting, and I hated. It was a plane ride to New York. So by the end of it, I was like, nah. I don't know. I'm grumpy to be on the plane. I didn't like that this thing happened. And then when I took time off and came back to play it last week before the show, I was like, oh no, this game's great. And then we were back on track.
Yeah. And then, Fran, you've been playing.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I haven't played like a ton, but I guess I feel like I played 30, 45 minutes, but it's very much, it reminds me of the punishing feeling of a game like Celeste, certainly rooted in that old school hardcore kind of feeling, and that's the point. You're going to dial out, you're going to rewind immediately and play it a different way. So I really enjoy it. The feel of it is great, and the style is great. Yeah, this like neon ninja, just cyber
Neo Tokyo
feel.
kind of thing.
Yeah,
right?
exactly, Neo Tokyo kind of feel. And the story is interesting too. I mean, I don't know how it sort of continues throughout, but you're curious about the character that you are, and he's like a little mysterious. He's getting drugs from his psychiatrist for something, and you have a little bit of choice in what you say in the narrative. And actually, I thought that was a nice touch, is sometimes depending on what you say, they go back to it, or it does affect sort of the level a little bit. You can actually have a little bit of different outcome occasionally.
Sure.
So yeah, I mean, general thumbs up. I think you got to pick it up. It's what, $15 or something?
Yeah.
Seems to be a really good deal.
It was Devolver's most pre-ordered game, they said.
Wow.
They tweeted out. I'm pretty
Awesome.
sure. Maybe.
That's nuts.
Kevin, fact check me on that.
Devolver's they're the one who did Hotline Miami, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is like what I love about this, and it's got that old school feel you said, right, Fran? And I'm the guy who just said like, oh, I don't want to play Mega Man or this. It's got the new school version of the old school feel, which for me is Hotline Miami, it is Celeste, it is now Katana Zero, it is Super Meat Boy, where cool, you failed, bam, right, go, here you go again. There are bite-sized levels for the most part of like, there are at least screens where you're going through, you died, go back. It's not like we were talking about with Mega Man, right, of play through this long level, die, oh god, I'm going all the way back to the beginning and doing it. Like they segment it up in a way.
And I love the idea of it's essentially a puzzle game that just requires dexterity and you to be quick with your fingers with the action, where it's like every room kind of, you just need to figure out the puzzle of how to get through it, right?
And that's the thing of like what I was telling you last week, right, is that I feel by the end of it, I had gotten what I thought was the way to do it, and I was doing it that way, and then when I picked it back up and started playing again. I was like, oh, I was actually playing wrong. I should be dodge rolling more. I should be doing this more. I've been playing it since the Gamescast again to beat it. And again, like, oh, I'm on the bus. I'm gonna do this thing. Still love it. And I think it is, yeah. The more I just had a bad experience on the plane, I think, more than anything. It was just being like, I'm ready to get off this fucking plane.
It definitely looks cool. Kev, are you interested in playing this? It seems like a Cav game.
Yeah, I really want to play it.
Cool.
It's great. Yeah, that was probably one of the bigger important notes was you can play these little sections over and over in different ways. Everybody's going to play differently.
Yeah.
And it feels great. So yeah, like one time you might run through, slash a bullet back at them, slow time. Sometimes you don't slow time at all.
Yeah.
I'm on a mission right now where they say don't harm anyone. I mean, you totally can and keep going, and then the doctor's going to yell at you.
Yeah, he's going to get in your case.
So like that's what's interesting. You can play it your way, but you can also watch the replay. Speedrunners are going to, I think, have a ton of fun with this. Just the way that you can do stuff. But just an example, sometimes you like run a room, slice a guy's head off, you grab a glass bottle, but a bullet's coming at you, so you slice that back in slow-mo, then you chuck the bottle because the next guy is going to shoot you before you would have had time.
And it's those puzzles.
Or you could have slid under it, and so that's the point. You have a lot of options while you're playing, and you get a little addicted to that loop of like, I can do it better, I can do it faster, and you memorize the way you do it.
Right now, I'm in the final level, and like that's where they're stitching it together a little bit longer, but not to a part where it's breaking me, but it is more like, now it's the, all right, cool, I did that. Okay, I died here. Okay, now I did that, and I died there. Like, you're trying to piece it all together.
It's kind of musical in some ways, isn't it?
Yeah.
You're like, bang, you hit a wrong note. You're like, all right,
yeah, exactly.
Like, you gotta make it through in
that's
sort
a really
of
good. Damn, Fran's smart.
your tempo. But you decide the tempo and the notes you play. It's pretty cool.
How many levels are there?
The tapes are stacked up. The game's like five and a half.
How does it work that it keeps flashing back? It says, 8 days remain. Like, is that just a general storyline, or
that's
did you
the
get
general
a sense that
storyline? Yeah.
But it's not necessarily like major world leveling up or anything.
No, it's just for the story they're telling you.
Does it
whatever.
end? Well, I guess no spoilers. But
Devolver Digital tweeted one day ago, "Dang, Katana Zero is our most pre-ordered Nintendo Switch game so far."
Man,
so
that's
they've
really
put out a lot of Switch stuff, including 8-Bout.
Dude, it's like a 3-person team or something. The music's really cool. I think it's a small team.
I think it's one. Sure. I think it's one. Yeah, Justin's
it's
just
not just Justin, is it? Yeah.
I thought so, yeah.
Okay.
That's why it took so long, because in 2015 he came and showed it to us.
Follow him on Twitter. He was nice enough actually stop by one night. Well, it was the embargo info you sent. You could play up to a level. I went live, and my Periscope goes live on Twitter, and somebody jumps in. And it actually was a name I never saw it. I did get a little worried. He's like, hey, how are you playing this game, And then I saw them chatting. He's like, yeah, I'm the creator. He's like, are people playing? I was like, don't worry, it's an embargo. And I had to explain to him that I was not going to play past a certain level. He's like, oh, okay, cool.
I'm revealing everything right now.
Yeah.
So funny.
Check it out. There's a few musicians on there with that like retro synth wave track stuff. It's pretty neat when you play levels.
Really good game.
Their name comes up like on the cassette tape. And it's neat.
Really cool shit. And then World War Z.
Oh yeah, I wanted to know, Greg. I played a little bit of it.
So the deal with World War Z was, saw it at GDC, really dug it on PC, wanted PlayStation 4 codes so we could go and do a party mode for it, and dropped on Tuesday. They delivered codes bright and early in the morning. I got here bright and early, installed it on all the PlayStation 4s, and in true launch day fashion of a 2019 game, those servers were on fire. So I was like, cool, we can't play this.
So you tried and died.
So like, Tuesday night, I think I played Days Gone more, and then obviously yesterday shot to LA. I haven't touched it on a console.
And you did say you played it at preview events, or no?
Played it on PC at a preview at a GDC.
Is it a totally persistent world like
no.
MMO thing?
No. World War Z. Did you ever play Left 4 Dead?
No.
It's like that, where it's going to be these contained campaigns that are like storylines with 4 characters for each one of the campaigns.
And they're random people you're playing with, or they could be?
It can be random. You can partner up, and then there is so that's the PvE part, and then a PvP VZ, where it's 2 teams of players, and then zombies also in the world that you're worrying about.
So you're playing against
PvP.
each other and the zombies.
Yeah, the zombies are attacking.
And there's just regular PvP, right? Where it's just, I'm pretty sure
the zombies are in it no matter what, right? So I mean,
I played PvP. I didn't think I ran into zombies, but possibly.
That would be very awkward if the game's World War Z and there's no zombies, though, right?
But for PvP, you're just fighting other like faction. Anyway,
how is it, Frank?
I was surprised. But yeah, like general overview too. If you know World War Z, that's the one, the poster where they all come together and they start getting over walls of stuff because they use each other like ants, to get over stuff. And that is exactly what they do in this game. Huge amounts of zombies, and they really do a good job of playing into that. Sometimes, they quote unquote fake it. You'll look outside and you'll see just like rivers of zombies coming at you, and you're like, ugh. But inside, there's a lot of zombies. So it is a lot more arcadey. I kind of call it, I don't know why, but it's got that stretchy, kind of cartoony, animated feel to it. So in some ways, yes, it's Left 4 Dead.
You mean the art style?
Yeah, like when you blow stuff up, it's a little more, you know, like explosive and stretchy. I don't know why that's the word I use. It might not be the best one. Let's stick with the musical metaphors.
Okay.
But
Man, he's bad at this.
but it's 4 people playing together, like Greg said. You can matchmake or not, and you're just like gunning lots of zombies down.
That's what I loved about it, is that I've been saying, where's Left 4 Dead again? Like, I want another Left 4 Dead.
It does, like, initial reactions, I had server connection issues, but they eventually started to stabilize.
From what I've seen on Twitter too, they're being very open and communicative about that.
Yeah.
Like, hey, we know, we're working, this is the patch we're pushing right now, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, but it was fine. I ran into a hard crash, I had some issues, but it was not to the level that was crazy. I mean, even Division experienced stuff like this.
Okay, don't you keep that out of your mouth right now.
It's true, Greg. Don't ignore the truth. But
You can't handle the
it absolutely is fun. I'd love to play it with a team.
So it's fun, you like it?
I've match made, yeah. I don't know how long that will last, but that is also the interesting hook. Is it's not just that the 4 of us grab a gun and you go in. It is based in classes. So if you are a certain class, there's a huge tree, yeah, to level up, and you can choose if you want to be a C4 class and have a C4 to throw out. It really gets interesting. The abilities, you're earning coin in the game that you can then buy abilities within your trees, and you really have to make these choices. There's like 7 or 8 classes or something like that. So it's got a lot of depth. And the weapons you use, and you constantly, whatever you find in the world, you can just pick up and use, and you put down a new one as long as you have ammo, and that is leveling up to get mods and better perks and abilities on that.
And then as you level up, you can unlock, so it's like, you know, like you really like a shotgun, you can start with a shotgun and it'll have those mods.
Yeah, so you can really like experiment, play to your style, and as you begin to play, by the way, it's kind of defaulted on 2 out of 5 skulls or whatever. I didn't try anything different, but it was...
That's difficulty, right?
Yeah. It was, or maybe there's zombie phases, I don't know. But it was 2 out of 5 that I noticed it was set to after playing a bit. It was very easy in the beginning. I was like, I don't know, I don't feel the threat. But as I started to progress a little bit, it did get a little hairy, and you can't move forward unless you res your teammates. You can't leave someone down and make it to the door. Everybody's got to come with, and that's a big factor of the gameplay. And even,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, and then maybe the last note is within the world, you can also do some cool stuff, like they'll have cases where you'll get barbed wire out of, or you can set up a turret and stuff like that. So you can strategize a bit to the impending danger and play it differently. And yet, you really are going to have to completed with people.
Have you completed any of the storylines? Because I know there's, what, 3 at launch?
Right, each character had, I don't know, there's a lot of... Oh no, there's 4 characters. I see what you're saying. Yeah, there's 4. Right?
Well, yeah, but there's every campaign has different 4 set of characters. Is what I was told at the preview.
Oh, I didn't even realize.
So it's like
that.
Left 4 Dead, how they had those different, like, they made a movie titles or whatever.
I didn't even realize that, because I jumped in and the episodes. You're right.
Yeah.
I'm on episode 1.
Okay.
I guess.
Anyways,
I didn't get that. I played for 90 minutes, 2 hours.
Okay.
I don't know, or something.
Did you see teamwork moments? Because that's what I found cool in my demo, and I think we did episode 2, but at the end of it, like, it was cool, this new NPC's got to work on the car, and then we also need stuff from over there, so 2 of us stayed behind, and like developers were there like telling you, like, you should try to do this. 2 of us stayed behind, 2 of us went over there, and so it was this like, are you guys almost done? They're really coming. Oh god.
Cool. So yes, that starts that, but that's why I want to play with people, because I did matchmake, and there was no voices happening in that. PvP voices were on like all the time. For whatever reason, I wasn't hearing anybody on default in the PvE. But you would work together, but I could tell you really could use to communicate.
Sure.
Because people would be doing stuff. You're like, why are you over there? Get over here, and let's camp out here. But
I'm in, dude.
Has potential for me, having played so much Division lately, 100+ hours. It's nice to take a break and have that arcadey kind of aspect of just gunning stuff down, and even like I'm leveling guns up, but I don't have to think about it. And like Division, you think about everything. I'm just like, I'm gonna use this SMG. I like it. I know now that if I keep playing with it, it'll be a better one later. So I like those aspects. I realistically have too many games between Sekiro and Division and all that to play, but I would like to play with folks like you guys and then come back to it at some point. But if you have time to play it now, at least early review, it seems like it could be a lot of fun, but we'll see what the depth is.
Is it a full release, or this is like a beta thing?
This is full
release. I feel like the PR was a little quiet. Don't you?
I'm not like super on the pulse, but I didn't know.
Yeah, no, I remember I remember last E3, them trying to get me to come see it, and I didn't for some, I think we were just too booked. And then when they hit me up for GDC, I was like, all right, cool. And going in, I was like, I had no expectations, and I was like, holy shit, this is actually really good, I think. You know what I mean? Yeah. I was worried that the PS4 version would come out and not run, because PC was doing well.
And we all went through the Overkill's Walking Dead, and like, I think, Frank, it's funny, funny that looking back on that, it's kind of a little bit, wouldn't you say, of you? It's a little bit of what you wanted out of that, right?
Oh, sure. Yeah. I mean, I've been wanting another Left 4 Dead forever. So yeah. And so I'm stoked to play it and try it out and get in there.
Well, let's go, man. We got codes
do it,
whenever you got time. It's the good news is you can totally jump in, play a couple levels within 45 minutes, an hour, and that's it. You don't have to.
Let's try to get some tonight.
I'd totally be down. It'd be awesome.
With you two specifically.
Wait, what? You want to play tonight?
No, you're going to see a concert tonight.
No, that's Friday.
Oh, that's right. That is. Is it?
That's what we talked about.
Have you seen Michael Bublé?
Yeah.
No. Anthony Rapp's in concert here in San Francisco.
Oh, nice. Awesome.
Okay.
No, we have a whole date night planned.
Wait, so everybody knows.
Me and my wife.
I love it. Destiny and Division update is what I have down here. You got some bullshit you wanted to say.
Hey, whoa! Wait, is it
Destiny?
Destiny bullshit. Yeah, okay.
Let's be quick with Destiny because Andrea's not here. Andrew Renee, another host on the show, plays Destiny. This week is the Revelry. I'm sure you all know if you're still playing the game. If not, it is a spring event, and it's really just, it made the tower all vibrant and green. You can earn new armor. What they did was they took what's called the Infinite Forest, which is you just keep, it used to not be infinite, funnily enough. Now it's actually infinite. Shut up, Kevin. I swear to God.
It used to not be
None of this
It's a video game. I assumed it wasn't really infinite.
The short review is, it's a pretty basic event. It's breaking the Crucible PvP because it's got some perks where, like, if you basically get drunk. It's called Revelry Tonic that makes you feel fuzzy. I'm like, all right, y'all
Touch fuzzy, get dizzy.
But you can drink it, and then like you can say your nades will go faster, right? So they'll recharge faster. You can bring that anywhere in the world in competitive. Like competitive PvP, true competitive as well as regular, but it's not going well.
What do you mean true competitive versus regular?
They actually have competitive versus quick play. Quick play is you don't earn any points. The matchmaking style is a little more casual, whereas in competitive, it is ranking you against people of similar skill. The higher you go, the higher the stakes. So it gets rough. But anyway, check out the Revelry. It's actually out for 3 weeks, though. You've got time, but if you want to chat,
is it worth it? If like, I mean,
well, the good news is it's free as part of the season pass. Gotcha. And there's a new exotic that is easy to get. So if you are a collector in Destiny, it's called the Arbalest. It's a linear fusion. It's cool.
We're all such fucking nerds. Here I am talking about Smash Bros. Here you are talking about Bloodborne. Here you are talking about this, and all of us.
It's different versions.
Oh, Mr. Division.
So anyway,
get the hell out of here.
I have a lot more thoughts, but we'll talk about Destiny another time. Division 2.
Yeah, now you dropped a bomb on me. Of course, I was doing work yesterday. I saw in the Uber, I think I saw, we're going live with our weekly update. Yeah. I was like, I'll get updated later.
And you've been so busy.
Yeah, I missed this. So you're telling me the raid's been delayed.
The raid, which was April 25th, has been delayed, and we don't know the date. So it's in May, though. So they said they need to tune it up because they're doing so many changes to like perks and like it's going to change how things work. And one, I feel like they haven't had time to truly get it right. And it's affecting the raid, but two, I don't know what's going on with the raid if it truly is like balanced and ready.
Yeah.
But either way, they're like, hold on, we need to make sure it's good. And so they just said, you know what, we're going to delay it into May. So they didn't really say when. Another huge aspect, if you're grinding and you're max level, you can actually, in a future update, but it's coming, you're going to be able to get drops above 500. So that means your guns, which you can't get above 500 right now, you can get them in the Dark Zone exclusively.
Oh, well, we're talking about why to go play in the Dark Zone.
So an incentive, and they're also working on bringing in a lot more players because the way they're doing the caps. They didn't want you feeling like you couldn't go in without getting crushed.
Yeah.
But they also recognize it's empty. The words out of their mouth are like, it's pretty empty in there. And so they're working on changing the Dark Zone. So part of that I'm excited about. Part of me is like, couldn't you give me another option in terms of those like you can get 515 as the power. 515 drops for the guns like somewhere else in the world because what if it is brutal to get them? That's the only place.
We'll have some fun.
But yeah, part of me was that too. I'm like, just recalibrate then. Well, you can't recalibrate your guns. Without getting too far into this.
With Division, is there replayability? Like, are there different kind of ways you can go about like doing it? Like,
yeah, it was.
That's
like,
one of the things I do enjoy is when you can try it this way,
that's the
try
whole
it that
game.
way.
They did a great job with this one of the not locking you into stuff. Even when you hit the end game, right? When you hit level 30 and turn the corner to like now you're playing for hundreds of hours doing, same missions, doing these different things. They unlock 3 specializations. Each of those can be switched out at will. Each of those have their own upgrades. Each of those you're earning points for individually. So it is that, cool, I want to try the crossbow, I want to try the grenade launcher, I want to try the sniper. And then, of course, any guns you get, you can switch out on the fly and do whatever you want.
It's truly one of the
Greatest games of all time.
I don't know. I don't want to overstate it, but I feel like it is one of the few games that when you change up your gun loadout, it really makes a big difference.
Yeah,
Even though you're ducking behind cover and shooting stuff, but it really changes how you play, and they do a really good job with that. So even sometimes you just get a really good drop, and you're like, oh, now I'm totally changing how I play. So yeah, it's really good on that. But it's one of those games, I call it a pen and paper spreadsheet, type game, because
That's
like,
how you play it.
You don't have to. Yeah, Greg doesn't worry as much about it. But there's
Fran's in there like, oh man, what? I need to save this skill and do that. I'm like, Fran, just go. You've been looking at your menu for 45 minutes. Go play something.
I honestly can't even think about it. There's so many stats. My only negative commentary on the game currently. I love it, Greg, but the pressure I go through to keep my stash. This isn't a joke. I'm like,
I know, but it's a pressure you put on yourself. I go there now and I'm just like,
dude.
Loot, or I'm scrap. I don't even care. Whatever.
It just wants you to look at so many things, but anyway, it's almost overly detailed. They could use some solutions on.
Here's my one question from State of the Game. They had bad news. Did they, knowing them, did they have good news? Did they like, hey, this is the bad news, but we're adding this, we're doing this?
I think that was the Dark Zone stuff. They're like, we're going to improve the Dark Zone. We hear you. But outside of that, it was just, we're going to fix the Dark Zone and higher drops. There wasn't anything big beyond that. Not that I remember.
Well, to wrap out the show, Vitz Patel writes in.
Wrap out the show.
And he has a question for you, actually. He says, I just wanted to ask about your favorite space opera video game, be it Mass Effect or something a little more abstract, like No Man's Sky. Thank you for all you do. Loving Star Trek Discovery.
Mass Effect.
Yeah.
Mass Effect 2 and 3. I never played the first one because I didn't have a PC. And then when it came out later, I was like, I started and it was like, it was so much harder to, like, it was wonky.
Yeah.
So, and I was like, I feel like I still should. But Mass Effect 2 and 3 are two of the all-time favorites.
Did you play Andromeda at all?
I did not play Andromeda yet. I was a little scared that it was going to make me sad. Yeah. Like, not for the right reasons.
Yeah.
But I think I will. I want to.
They fixed it up. Yeah.
So,
for people who didn't watch you on Games Daily because they're foolish, what is your video game history? Because I found it fascinating, right? Like, you're super...
I was like arcade boy in the 70s, and like late 70s, early 80s. Played tons of like Pac-Man, Donkey Kong, Galaga, Centipede, like that kind of stuff. And I never had a home console until later. I got a PS3 because I bought a piece of video art, and it came with a PS. It ran off of a PS3.
Which is so the craziest thing. Explain that again.
How'd you perfect sense to me?
Yeah,
of course it did.
And in the meantime, I was touring. I was on tour in '09 with a laptop, and my friend gave me Dragon Age.
Hell yeah!
Oh, and I played Baldur's Gate with him.
Sure.
So that was like my bridge. Baldur's Gate, Dragon Age, and then
what's video art?
Video art is like if you had a TV on the wall and it's running off of a hard drive or something, and it displays on the TV.
Oh, okay.
The reason it made sense to me is that we forget easily that PlayStation 3 was one of the greatest media players in its time, because like it could do everything you needed in terms of storing music and video and playback, and like quite frankly, you couldn't depend on anything, or you'd have to rig up a PC or whatever. So PlayStation was an easy way to do it. I assume that's why it was on
and
there.
it would just loop. It would just play if you wanted it to.
Exactly. Little features like the video player on it was good and it worked, and you didn't have to think about it. What else were you going to buy it at the store? That
first
off, it came with it though. I didn't like pick it out. Like this is the package.
Yeah, they just gave it to you, but not for gaming, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It was a good media.
I was like, I have this in my apartment. I wonder what's out there. Yeah. So the first Assassin's Creed and Arkham Asylum were two of the first games that I played of that gen.
So that just like blow your mind.
Yes.
This is where we're at. Okay.
Yes, 100%. Wow. And then I was all in.
That's crazy.
And then the Mass Effect 2 was also really early.
Well, he's like such a dream case for the PlayStation trophy system, right? Of like coming back in and he's like, you know what? I do want these platinums. Yeah. I'm an accomplished Broadway actor. I do want all these platinum trophies, please.
That is awesome. Well, the last question I have for you is, what game are you looking forward to that's not out yet?
Last of Us 2.
Good pick.
Hell
good
yeah.
pick.
It's a very good choice.
Yeah.
Do you have the Last of Us platinum?
No.
Okay, yeah.
Because of the multiplayer.
Of course, terrible choice.
No.
Bad trophies on that one?
Well, the multiplayer, like, okay, let me try multiplayer. You go into the thing. You have to pick I walk 2 feet and I'm shot in the head and killed. And then you spawn somewhere else. They
had a whole thing too. You could play like 20 hours and then lose.
Yeah, it's
and
like,
then all right, cool. Now you have to start the trophy thing again.
Because
it was like you had to get your team. And then you had to play it the opposite way. You had 2 different. It was the whole.
That's not why I played.
No Neil.
Bruce.
No Neil. Yeah.
Neil and Bruce.
No Bruce. No Neil.
Come on, guys.
It's like the opposite of what we're talking about, or like learning from failure. You can't learn anything from that because then you spawn in a different spot. You have no idea where there's people who know the map. They're sitting there waiting to shoot you.
And it was such a sad case for them because their Uncharted trophies were always perfect. of, hey, here's
Yeah,
a whole
you play
bunch
a little
of
bit
stuff.
of multiplayer if you want.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Here, congratulations, you played a multiplayer match. You played the other thing there, and then they gave DLC that then added in. All right, now get 1 million kills, 1 million wins, whatever. It didn't affect the platinum.
Yeah.
Don't you laugh at me, all right?
Tell
me about your infinite force that isn't infinite
I know,
again.
but at least like I'm not gonna hate on trophies because I know.
Sounds like you're about to. Because at least
I don't understand what you're doing.
What do you mean?
I do. You're playing these games that you literally.
Spreadsheets. It's
exactly.
But you don't care about the game. You're spending money and time to just get. Well, what it is it is a status and a collector's thing, right?
No, that's part of it sometimes, but honestly, there's other things. When there's trophies that have you do certain things, then it actually challenges you to try different ways,
sure.
which is cool. And if you have to like in Borderlands, you have to get a certain level with all your characters, so it really encourages you to try. And so that's when I like those kinds of lists.
Yes.
If it's a list of like some other bullshit thing like that, I don't just get a platinum all the time. I don't care.
So I don't get skewered, and I will already in the comments. But I'm not hating on those trophies. Challenging trophies. It's when like what are these other games
Saturday
you're
morning
mentioning?
cartoons or whatever.
Saturday
What was
morning
it?
cartoons. What was it called? Mr. Mayo.
My
What
name
was
is
the other
Mayo.
one?
Mr. Mayo.
My name is Mayo. Yeah, Mr. Massagey. You're putting together some classics here, guys. You're emerging together some classics. Super Weekend Mode was the most recent one. Yeah.
So
yeah.
Greg, did you get your trophy in Destiny? You have to beat a raid without dying.
Well, I got the one for platinum. I platinum Destiny too.
Somebody took you through. Did someone take you?
It
through?
wasn't a raid that I. Oh, you could do a raid or a strike on hard or something. And do
Really?
whatever.
There's
Yeah,
one
yeah.
though that's like more of just a challenge, but I do appreciate it. You don't, as long as you don't die, you get a trophy for it. That type of stuff is cool.
I was going for the the Dead Space 2 trophy.
Fuck that.
And you know where you get
Douchebags.
3 saves in the whole game, and there's a couple quick time events that
I was doing great on on that one where I hadn't saved from the beginning, and then it was when I got to the elevator, and a necromorph got me, and it was cheap, and I was like, all right, well, I am not replaying the last 6 or whatever 3 hours, whatever. It was enough an investment where I was like, I tried, I'm done. That was my one shot.
No, thank you. Next.
Yes, but yeah. So it's not like some people are like, I platinum every game I play. I'm not saying that. I do that voice just because I'm being intense.
That's what you said.
But no, it's like if it's something that I love and I feel like it could be challenging but like manageable in a certain way.
I have 2 levels. I have 2 levels of platinum, Fran. I have the games that I love and I want to honor by getting the platinum, and then I have the games that are easy that I just want the platinum trophy for. All right.
Okay.
Just by turning on the console.
In the US store.
Just turning on the
Bless you.
console.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my God, that's the best. And is there any greater feeling when the game remember when I know you remember it well, Tim. When the DC Universe trophies from PS3 carried over to PS4 on a separate list, and all you did is turn on your PlayStation 4, turn on DC, and it was
And you got a platinum?
Really?
It was like, yeah, baby, this is it. And then if you haven't seen this thing, this is a good one for you too. This is just to ease yourself in, right? In 40 short minutes. Right now, PlayStation Plus, Conan Exiles is on there. It turns out that when you turn on the game, you can go into admin mode.
Oh no,
Just
Greg, no.
start giving stuff, put yourself in God
Oh,
mode,
no.
spawn bosses, kill it, get the trophies. I'm like, oh my God, I can't wait.
I'm not doing
This is
that.
what I'm talking about.
Anthony,
Hey,
where can people
to each
find
their
you?
own.
They can find me on Twitter at albinokid and on Instagram at albinokid1026 and on PSN also at albinokid1026 is my PSN.
You need some Bloodborne help.
Yes.
The man to go to.
Yes.
Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank
This has been
you.
a fun
Thank you.
little chat,
Thank
conversation, as they say.
It's not over yet though.
Oh yeah, no, it's post-show time.
Po-
I was gonna say pre, and I messed up. You
We
know
got
what I mean?
skills with a Z.
It happens.
We got skills with a Z here.
Thank you. Thank
Shout
you
out
for
to
that.
Juliet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Juliet
yeah.
knows
Same
where
place.
We were born in the city.
Well, I was born in Chicago,
Oh,
but grew up in Joliet. Yes.
Which,
yes,
Greg,
yes.
you were right up the road.
Of course.
This is the Chicago show.
When it was
today.
Adriana Curry,
I'm
right?
there.
She's from Joliet too.
Yeah. Also,
Lionel Richie.
Janina Gavankar from Joliet. Do you know Janina Gavankar?
Gavankar.
And John Barrowman, do you remember him? You know him from Doctor Who and Torchwood?
No. Oh, now that you said that part, yeah, no, I do.
A lot of good Chicagoans, Jolietans.
Joliet, is that
Post-show
what you
time,
call it?
baby.